Welcome to Five to Thrive with Hart. I'm Tony Hart, and this is where we take complicated employee benefits and healthcare topics and break them into practical ideas you can actually use. The goal is simple: help employers, HR leaders, finance teams, and plan decision makers make smarter decisions, protect their benefits plan, and get more value from every benefits dollar. Today, we're talking about a problem that shows up in benefits meetings every day. A vendor brings a polished presentation, a carrier explains a solution, a consultant introduces another resource, and before long, the employer is reacting to somebody else's roadmap. The better question isn't, is this a good solution? It's, does the solution fit the strategy our workforce actually needs? Because your benefit plan isn't a vendor roadmap. It's your company's plan. It serves your employees. It uses your data. It affects your budget, your employee experience, and your ability to make sound decisions over time. Outside partners matter. Good ones can bring expertise, capability, and a perspective you may not have in-house, but they should help you carry out your strategy. They shouldn't be the ones deciding what your strategy is. Here's where a lot of companies get pulled off course. The vendor meeting starts with, here's what we do. Then the employer decides whether that solution sounds interesting. And that's backwards. Before you look at a solution, you need to be clear about what the problem is. Where are the employees getting stuck? What's creating unnecessary costs, confusion, delay, or frustration? Is the issue access to primary care? Is it specialty drug spend? Is it employees not using resources that they already have? Is it a complicated journey when somebody faces serious health issue? Or is it that the company just has too many programs and no real clear front door? No carrier, vendor, or consultant knows your organization better than you do. They don't live with your workforce demographics, your operating environment, your benefit philosophy, or your leadership priorities every day. Now, that doesn't mean you ignore their expertise. It means you give their expertise a clear assignment. Start by defining what you need the plan to actually accomplish. Then ask each partner to explain exactly how they fit into that strategy. A good vendor meeting shouldn't feel like a 20-slide tour of a company you've never heard of. Benefit leaders have too much on their plate for that, so they're dealing with enrollment issues, employee questions, compliance, carrier escalation, leadership requests, renewal pressure, and the constant stream of new ideas. So every meeting has to earn its time. That means the vendor should do some homework before that meeting starts. They should understand your industry. They should understand your workforce as much as reasonably possible. They should know the broad shape of your benefit program and the challenges that you're trying to solve. And employers have a responsibility here too. You don't have to share every detail of your plan, but you should give a potential partner enough context to prepare. Tell them what isn't working. Tell them what you're trying to improve over the next 3 to 5 years. Tell them what a successful outcome would look like. That way the meeting can focus on fit, not on the generic sales deck, not basic discovery questions that could have already been answered in advance, and not a solution searching for a problem. Now, sometimes the strategy you want will create resistance. Maybe you want to carve out a service that historically lived, within the plan. Maybe you want a different navigation experience. Maybe you need a better reporting, different workflow, or a more specialized solution for a specific population. The first answer may be no. That doesn't mean the conversation is over. The goal isn't to beat up your carrier or treat every vendor like an opponent. That approach usually makes it harder to get good work, good collaboration, and a strong long-term partner. A better approach is to be direct and fair. Tell the partner what you're trying to accomplish. Explain why it matters to the plan and the employees. Give them a real opportunity to propose an alternative or explain a concern you may not have considered. But be clear about the outcome that you want. A strategic partner should be able to challenge your thinking when it's helpful, but once the employer makes an informed decision, the partner needs to be prepared to support that direction. That's what partnerships is supposed to look like. Here's where employers need to be prepared to follow through. When a carrier or a vendor can't support something that's important to the strategy, don't make an empty threat. Turn into a better procurement question. Instead of asking or saying, do this or we're going to market, make the requirement clear. Tell the market what you need the plan to actually do. Then evaluate which partner is actually willing and able to support it. That's a very different conversation. It isn't about pushing the current partner. It's about making sure the next decision serves the employer and the members. And here's another practical point. When you remove work from a partner, the economics should be reviewed as well. If a navigation function, reporting responsibility, or service layer is being carved out, it's reasonable to ask whether the existing fees still match the work being performed. That isn't about squeezing every vendor. It's about aligning the arrangement with the actual scope of service. The employer should know what it's paying for, why it's paying for it, and whether the value still matches the cost. There's also an opportunity many employers miss. Sometimes the best partners isn't the company with the biggest booth at a conference. Sometimes it's an early stage company that's still building the solution and is willing to listen. A thoughtful employer can help shape the member experience. You may be able to influence reporting, communications, eligibility rules, data exchange, implementation steps, or how the resource fits the rest of the benefit ecosystem. That doesn't mean being early is automatically better. It still needs to do, you still need to do your due diligence. You still need to understand the operational fit, and you still need to make sure the solution can deliver. But a true partner should be willing to learn about your workforce and adapt where it makes sense. The point isn't to buy a product exactly as it was built for someone else. The point is to build an arrangement that works for your employees, your leadership team, and the plan you're responsible for managing. That's how you move from vendor selection to strategic partnership. The takeaway is this. Your benefit partners can bring expertise. They can bring tools. They can bring ideas. But they shouldn't be the ones deciding what matters most for your employees and your plan. Start with your strategy, define the problem, prepare the right context, set clear expectations, give partners a fair opportunity to help, and when a partner can't support the direction you need, make the next procurement decision based on the requirements that actually matter. The right partners make your benefit strategy stronger. They don't replace it.
Thanks for watching 5 to Thrive with Hart. For one practical employee benefits idea each week, subscribe to the 5 to Thrive weekly newsletter. You'll find the link in the post, the video description, or on my profile. And if this was helpful, hit like, follow, or subscribe, and share it with someone who helps make benefits decisions.